How bad that my motorcycle isn't here right now, so I can't even go out for a ride. But let's make a video about how ABS works in motorcycles, and maybe this will also explain why I crashed my motorcycle on the first day of riding it. What is ABS? ABS stands for Anti-Lock Braking System, and it prevents the wheels to lock up. But what is a wheel lock up? A wheel lock up is when the wheels stop to rotate immediately. ABS is there to maintain traction and stability and to reduce the risk of skidding. I think so far this is clear. But how does ABS work? ABS has two different components: the wheel speed sensors and the control unit. The wheel speed sensors monitor the rotational speed of each wheel. Then this sensor information is sent to the control unit. When you're braking and your wheels lock up, and of course your ABS is activated, then the wheel speed sensors detect the sudden deceleration in wheel rotation, and the brakes will be released a little bit again and your wheels won't fully lock up. The control unit modulates the brake pressure rapidly, applying and releasing the brakes multiple times per second. This pulsating action prevents the wheels from fully locking up, allowing the rider to maintain control while braking. Honestly, I was thinking a lot about the structure of this video. Usually it would go like this. What is ABS? How does ABS work? What's the use of ABS in modern motorcycles? But I like driving physics, and that's why we'll be talking about that now. I just sit down because I might need my iPad for that. And also you can see a bit more of the room here, which is not my home anyway. As I mentioned before, a wheel lock up is really bad and might end so likely in a crash. But why? I mean, cars also don't crash just because the wheels lock up. It has something to do with gyroscopic forces. When your motorcycle stands still and you release it from the stand, what happens? Yeah, you're right. It just falls down to one side. When you're riding your motorcycle, it doesn't fall to one side. Why is this? When you're riding, your wheels are rotating and they generate a special kind of force called gyroscopic force, and this force stabilizes the motorcycle. When you're riding and you have a wheel lock up, the gyroscopic forces disappear and there's nothing left which stabilizes your motorcycle. If there's just a tiny little thingy on the road, this might instabilize your motorcycle and you will fall to one side. This is only a huge problem for your front wheel. When your rear wheel locks up, this isn't that bad and it's a bit more likely that you can still handle it. Let's get to my point with performance. Braking performance, to be specific. Your braking force is as high as possible when you get as close as possible to the blocking threshold. As you may have thought, the blocking threshold is the point where the wheel starts to lock up. Right before this point, the braking force is the highest. And the thing is, in motorcycles you have two different brakes, the front brake and the rear brake. And for maximum braking performance or the maximum braking force, you have to come as close as possible to the blocking threshold with both brakes. And here we come to the problem for bikes without ABS. You can't just do that as a normal human being. You might be able to come close to one blocking threshold of one brake, but you can't do both simultaneously. And an ABS system does exactly that for you. So you just brake and it makes that your wheels don't lock up, but you're still as close as possible to the thresholds. By the way, this was no joke in the beginning with the fact that I crashed my motorcycle on the first day of riding it, and I think it might be likely that it is the case because I don't have an ABS system. I was riding and I think I was just braking too harsh, and then my wheels locked up and I was sliding forward right into a friend of mine. But luckily nothing happened to me and nothing happened to my friend, and I will think about an ABS system in my next motorcycle.